Hello everyone, welcome back once again. We have Haider today once again with us, Sheikh. And today we are not just going to discuss something we discussed last time regarding the sale point in depth about it. This time we are going to discuss something different in respect to your preparation in terms of your career growth. So why we brought this episode? Why here we're going to discuss about the mock questions which you may can get during your interviews or when you are preparing yourself for any type of upgrades in your current career. Welcome, Heather. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. So, Heather, we have taken out some good questions. Okay, we have taken out some questions which usually ask, as discussed with you and with the team. So, we want to start with that. So, anything you want to say before we start, Heather?
Um, Thank you. Thanks for the welcome, Anas. And I appreciate the time taken for this particular session. And I congratulate InfoSec for conducting these kind of you know, uh, webinars, and it's really good to have these kind of podcasts. People will definitely get benefited, whosoever is aspirant or whosoever wants to get upskill with their career. I think definitely it will add a lot of value for them, sharing these kind of informations mainly. Yeah.
Right. So, while we are going to discuss about this, just wanted to know these are the questions which we are going to discuss today. It just to make yourself brushed up because these are the majorly discussed questions or the domains which usually have asked. We are not here to
Yeah.
just correctly say that this is something which is directly going to come in any type of real scenarios. But yeah, out of which in most of the scenarios you will see this is going to be a common thing which you are going to see. So, without ado, let's start, Heather. Uh, the
Yeah.
the first thing we usually talk about is about the core component in IAM, that is identity access management. So the question is, what's the identity access management? I mean, commonly we known as IAM, and why it's
Yeah.
important.
Well, so IAM is nothing but, as we all know, the definition of it, identity and access management. It is mainly used for managing the infrastructure of an organization in terms of managing the user life cycle, user accesses to the resources within the organization, operations, everything will be taken care by IAM products. And in a simple terms, let me tell you, it's like a triple R. I can say, right people having right access at the right time. So IAM ensures that. So that is where the IAM stands in the market.
That's interesting. That's very nice. Then with this, there is another sublime of this particular topic is we call RBAC and ABAC. So
Yeah.
the question basically comes. Usually, we have seen is that explain the difference between RBAC and ABAC. So can you let us know about that?
So RBAC is nothing but role-based access control. And when it comes to the ABAC, it's attribute-based access control. So when I say rollback, so preferably the access can be granted based on the role, such as managerial role, engineer, or maybe a developer role. So based on the role, assigning certain, granting certain accesses is called as a role-based access control. When
Okay,
it
that's
comes to the attribute based access control, it's purely based on the attributes what the user is consists of, based on their department, based on the location, based on the type of employment. So it's completely depends on the attributes. So
okay.
if you ask me, the complexity implementation of role based access control is more complex, compared to the attribute based provisioning. So it's reliable, and it's more flexible, role based access control, but it's a bit complex. Now when it comes to the attribute based provisioning, no, it's something like, it's simpler, but implementation wise, it's quite complex when it comes to the implementation wise for the attribute based. So as a conclusion for the audience, I would say RPAC is more simpler to implement, and ABAC is more complex to implement. but eventually, both benefits the organization, based on their criteria, based on their filter. It depends on the access granting process. So at times in the interviews, so if you do mention role provisioning, or maybe RBAC in your resume, for an instance, definitely the interviewer will ask you this question, like, what is benefits, is RBAC or ABAC? And if you say no, and if you say the reason behind it, as I just told, it will definitely be a good answer for the interviewer, I would say.
Sounds interesting. That's true. So with this, there's another thing which we commonly discuss and we have seen, that is called SSO. When that's what is so the usually with the question which we have phrased is like, what is the single sign on and how does it
Yeah.
benefit users and organization?
Great. So single sign-on is nothing but a single password,
Okay.
accessing for all the application resources. Like, what are the organization resources we have, can be used, with a single username and password. So that is basically one credential.
Okay.
It will simplify, a lot of things for an organization in terms of reducing the effort of help desk team, like, involving help desk team for resetting the password, or for any instance of these things. When it comes to the single sign on, so name itself says SSO, one sign in for multiple applications. And henceforth, what happens here is, user himself can reset the password, as part of a self services.
Oh.
So that is the SSO. So
Hmm.
lot of technologies we have when it comes to the SSO, like, we have Okta, we have ping access. So there are a lot of tools and lot of certifications as well, so that is related to their SSO certifications. um, People who is already certified, they will definitely get benefited with these kind of opportunities, with us SSO opportunities. And SSO is nice technology as well, as an within the cybersecurity domain, I would say, Anas. Yeah.
Hmm. That's true. The next thing we want to discuss is that what is privileged access management and why it's
Yep.
essential.
Hmm. Well, good question. So as we are seeing the booming of CyberArk as well, so
Right.
that is a PAM tool.
True.
No, and I think InfoSec is also having a training with the CyberArk. So that's really nice to have. Well, so PAM is nothing but a privileged account management. So it is mainly used to monitor, the sessions, the highly privileged accounts of an organization. So when I say highly privileged accounts, such as, we can say it as administrative accounts, so we can closely monitor them, and we can always do a session recording as well. Like,
Hmm.
the one of the main use cases is password rotation and session recording. So when I say session recording, like, whenever someone logs into a critical application of an organization, for instance, you take a payroll system. So
Okay.
our any administrative user who logs into the backend server of payroll system, so definitely what are the things that are all being happening needs to be recorded for an audit purposes, and for any risk assurances. Like, if something goes wrong, it can be captured wisely, and it would be recorded. So these are all the critical usages. So let me tell you the benefits. So yes, uh, highly frequently asked one of the frequently asked questions is, if you go to an interview, keeping an IAM background, so people wants to know everything that, okay, so, when you say you are a cybersecurity engineer, you should be aware of what does SSO do,
Okay.
what is a CyberArk, that is PAM do. such as I said, popular, as I said, the name of the tools, popular
Right.
tools like CyberArk, Okta, in SSO. So no, the main usage of PAM, no, why is no, one is session recording, and two is password rotation, and no, and monitoring those accounts, in a vault, having a safe vault, and securing those accounts and securing those privileged sessions that are being taken care, within the organization. So no, that's where PAM comes into the picture. Yeah.
Hmm. That sounds interesting. With this, there is another thing that comes usually these days. People discuss about that is what it is identity IQ. So the
Yeah.
question basically we have seen is that what are the key components required to install an identity IQ?
Good question, Anas. Yes, I've seen people coming to me asking, no, Sheikh, we want to set up a SailPoint environment
Right.
locally, and they do ask, can I get the instances, or can I get the procedure? So
Right.
that's where this is one common thing, and as well as mainly in the interview part, why people ask, because the questions are coming from the interviewer, like
Okay.
for any interview you attend.
Mm-hmm.
So people do want to test your knowledge, like how does actual installation happens.
Okay.
So that's where no, that's where need to have all the installation procedures to be aware of, and what are the prerequisites that are needed to install the SailPoint. So as you just asked me, the prerequisite thing, so let me tell you the prerequisites. So there are four important prerequisites. You can always tell to interviewer. So one is JDK, so which is a Java JDK. So it's a Java development kit. So preferably you can take Oracle Java JDK, or Open Java JDK. No, so this is one of the prerequisites. Okay, number one prerequisites. The second prerequisite is your web application server. So when I say web application server, so it's Apache Tomcat, or you can say Oracle WebLogic. Now you can take these web application servers, and you can always do install SailPoint with the help of WebLogic, Oracle WebLogic, or Apache Tomcat, or IBM WebSphere, no, these web application servers. And
Hmm.
the third important prerequisite is a database. So a
Okay.
database is very crucial. It is required, like either you take MySQL database, or
Hmm.
Oracle database, or IBM DB2, or Microsoft SQL Server. So these, preferably any of the databases you can take, and you can do install the SailPoint. And last important prerequisite is the IIQ server software. Now, the Identity IQ server software, which is mainly available as a free source on the official website of SailPoint, which is called as a Compass. So you can log into the SailPoint Identity IQ Compass, and you can always do download, and you can start setting up in your local. So so having these four important prerequisites, no, you can easily install the SailPoint Identity IQ, and there is a procedure, no, which will be followed, no, once you have all the prerequisites ready, and you can easily install the Identity IQ with the help of this procedure. So let me tell you the procedure as well. It will definitely benefit the audience. Why? Because in a short, how to answer this kind of question, the installation question, or the prerequisite question. So let me try to phrase it like this. Always do mention the prerequisites of installation, as I just told, those four important prerequisites, and then try to give the procedure. So that is an installation procedure. So one of the first step is going to be the deployment. So you need to take the Identity IQ server software, and you need to deploy it into your web application server. That is the first step. And the second step is going to be the running the database script inside the DB, and the fourth step is modifying the properties file, Anas.
Yeah.
So there is something called as IAQ properties file that needs to be modified, and once it is modified with the right properties, with the database SQL properties, and henceforth, and starting the Tomcat. So that's it. Here we go. So your SailPoint will be ready to use.
Right.
So this is how it can be implemented for any customer. Yeah.
Sounds interesting. And then the next question we have is to understand what's the difference between population groups and work groups in SailPoint. Once you have
Um,
installed, that's the
ah,
next hurdle comes usually.
Good. Very good question. And also, Anas, so these kind of questions, I don't know, like from where you have got these questions, the lineup. I appreciate your research and gathering. Definitely, I think it's gonna help audience. Well, so to precisely ask your question, the populations. So populations is nothing but no. It's a group of users. Okay,
Okay.
so like you can just go to the advanced analytics inside the SailPoint, and you can just try to run a search with a filtered criteria, and it will give you the group of users, and those users can be saved as a population. The
Oh,
benefit of population is something like it's like it will give you all the real time users information, like
okay.
as it's a dynamic in nature. So when I say dynamic in nature, the populations, that group of users, that's the filter which you have applied, will be executed every second, like
Okay.
so that's where the populations are dynamic in nature. So it will always give you the latest users information, and
Hmm.
henceforth it can be mainly used in automations. Well,
Okay.
so wherever it is necessary, like in role assignments, or in running a series of procedures, like a business process you want to run. So no, it can be used over there.
Okay.
So that's called as a population. And when it comes to the groups, okay, so groups are nothing but similar to populations, but the only difference is no the no, it's here also you're going to group the users based on certain criteria, like their region, their location, their employment type. So based on this, we can always do filter the users, and we can always do create a groups from there. And
Hmm.
these groups can be used no basically these groups are static in nature. Okay, so until unless you run the task, until unless you refresh the user identities, refresh the groups, so no, your groups wouldn't be getting created in SailPoint actually. So
Okay.
that's where the difference comes into the picture. So populations are dynamic in nature, and no, groups are static in nature. And
Hmm.
the third point is work groups. Okay, so the usage of work groups is totally a different usage, like to assign the ownerships. Mainly, no, in SailPoint, we do assign the ownership when it comes to an individual ownerships, like you want to have a business owner as Anas. Let us, for an instance, let us assume there is a business application payroll, and I want Anas to be the owner of that particular instance, the business application. So if it is a single owner, I can directly assign. Okay, let us assume along
Hmm.
with Anas, so there are four owners.
Right.
Okay, so in that case, what how would you implement it? So with the help of a work group, what I can do is I can create a owners work group, like payroll owners group. And first, I can add owners into it, and then I can add rest of the folks into it.
Right.
Henceforth, a work group can be created, and that work group can be used for assigning the ownership for across the systems, like wherever it is necessary for a work group. You can assign to a application, you can assign to a role, or you can assign to wherever it is necessary, in whichever the instance of use case you want to
Hmm.
use. Well,
Sounds interesting. With this, we are heading to the next question. The question is very simple, but because it's still usually asked many times. We just wanted to know explain the difference between the roles, that is the business roles, IT roles, and enlightenments.
Okay. Good, good. So when it comes to the roles, in SailPoint, we have four different types of roles, Anas.
Okay.
So the answer would be a bit lengthy, but I want to give as much as information. It will definitely help.
Yes.
The thing is, like, there are four different type of roles. So we have organizational role, business role, IT role, and entitlement role.
Okay.
The crucial ones are the business role and IT role. So the business role is will always have an assignment role in it, and always it will have required and permitted roles in it.
Okay.
So when I say required, so if you want to have an IT privilege, so that is your IT role. No, actually, an IT privileges can be bundled into an IT role, can
Okay.
be grouped into an IT role. So these IT role can be given into a business role, and that business role can be assigned to the users.
Hmm.
So when you give that bundle of permissions in a required fashion, what happens is, no, it's going to be a required role to the user. Okay, without this particular role, the user cannot fulfill his responsibilities. Now, when it comes to the permitted role, if you give this particular business role
Great.
into a permitted fashion, then it is going to be a kind of partial, access you are giving to the user, like, the permitted access to the user. So it's not required, but it is permitted for the user to have an access to. So that's how required and permitted falls in place. Yeah.
That sounds interesting. With this, there's another question we wanted to understand because this usually being asked by the people that what is the, I mean, what is role mining and how it is performed in SailPoint?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So role mining, in simple terms, it's nothing but the process of creating roles.
Okay.
No, the procedure in order to create a roles. So in this procedure, lot of analysis happens, lot of research, a lot of filtration happens. So based on this analysis results, okay, so what they do is they do the mining process. You want to have the role to be assigned to an inactive user, no, for an instance, or no, inactive user who is in this specific region, American region, or falling into a US region or Europe region. So what you can do is you can simply do create uh, you know uh, uh, an analysis. You can do with this particular analysis, discussing with the business, having this analysis in the table, and then going to the implementation, to uh, the actual implementation of the sale point, the role creation, where no, I need to have this particular filter, filtered users to be assigned. So this is called as the role mining process eventually. Yes, a lot of people do ask about the role mining procedure, have you implemented the role mining procedure, or have you worked on it, or will you be able to do this role mining process? So that's where this question comes into the picture, Anasia.
So the next
Yeah.
thing we want to understand from you whether is that what is this really usually taken terms of discussion when there is a context of IAM. So what's provisioning and what's deprovisioning in context to IAM?
Well,
Yeah.
yes. So when it comes to the provisioning, so provisioning is nothing but creating an account to the organization resources is called as provisioning. When it comes to the deprovisioning, removing an access or deleting an account is called as a deprovisioning process. So mainly, this provisioning and deprovisioning, comes on day-to-day usages within the organization on us. Like when it comes to the organization, the business. this might need to grant an access to the managers specifically. Let us assume maybe a requirement will come from a CEO's table saying that, okay, hey, IAM team, do implement this kind of access to this particular system for this particular managers inside within the organization. And henceforth, this this requirement we might need to fulfill in real time use case.
Okay.
If you if you consider it, like how we do it is, with just by considering the requirement, and either you can take a rule based approach or role based approach or a custom approach, and henceforth we can grant an access to the users within the organization. Yeah, the bulk access, maybe you might need to have granting an access to the bulk users as part of these kind of requirements. So that can be achieved via provisioning and deep provisioning. So giving an access, it falls in place for both the requirements, either giving an access or removing an access. Yeah.
Hmm. Sounds interesting. That's very clear. It's related to more control like we usually used to have in IM. With this, let's move to the next question. We wanted to understand why, because this is also very commonly asked questions these days. That describe the different stage of certifications in SailPoint.
Well, the certifications is nothing but your automatic audit process on us.
Okay.
No, when I say automatic audit process, there are different type of certifications we have in SailPoint. Like you take a targeted certification, so which is like the customized access review you want to launch. Then we go for this kind of targeted certification, or we do have manager certification, like where manager would be reviewing the subordinates access. Or you take the application ownership access review, where the application owner himself is going to review the user's access, like who should have access to this particular entitlements, like this group of users should be having an access to this or should not be having an access to this, will be getting evaluated in the certification process. So that is the manager review. Or you take the application owner's review, or you can also take uh, no an entitlement owner review or role owner review. So in the role owner certification, what happens, Anas, the role owner. So for an instance, Anas, let us you are the owner of a role. Okay, let us take a role of accounting, you know for an example. So what happens is, I'm going to cater you all the people who have an access to the accounting systems. And eventually, Anas, it's up to you, like what decisions you're going to take on their accesses, like who should have access to this accounting. Either you approve it or revoke it. So that is called as a role role review process. Now when it comes to the the as I said, if you approve, the access will be granted to the users. Like if you deny, no, the access will not be given to the users. So it's up to the reviewer. Like in my example, you are the reviewer, and now henceforth, that's how the review process runs in organizations. Yeah.
Sounds interesting. Let's move to the next question. We just want to know what
So
you
before we
think.
move to the next one, Anas, I want to add to one more point. These kind of audits would happen quarterly, annually, as well as quarterly, annually, or half yearly, or
Okay.
monthly audits. So let us assume if it is a bank client, then the audits will happen monthly as well. Like monthly, you will get notified and you need to review it. Or if it is in quarterly, 3 months once, the audit will takes place. So
Hmm.
that's how it works, Anasya.
That's interesting. With this, let's move to the next question. We really wanted to
Yeah,
understand that,
yeah.
and that's very related to the duties. That explain the concept of separation of duties. That is, you commonly we use to say that SOD, and how it's implemented in SailPoint.
Very good question, Anas. Again,
Yeah.
appreciate for asking this. uh, because policies. Okay, so the policy in SailPoint, we call them as policies, or you call it as a SODs. That is a segregation of duties, or you can always say separation of duties as well. So mainly it involves or the policies in SailPoint. Okay, so there are different type of policies we have. We have role SOD policy, entitlement SOD policy. So when I say entitlement SOD policy, for example, whosoever the no, so the entitlement SOD policy, what it says, if you try to enforce this policy, no, what it states, whosoever is having a toxic combination of entitlements. Okay, so let us take access A is toxic with access B. Okay, so or a conflicting access, A and B or conflicting accesses, I would say.
Okay.
So in this case, what happens is if you enforce the policy, which is entitlement SOD policy, what happens is whosoever is having this A and B accesses would be treated as a violators.
Okay.
So they would be coming under policy violation. Okay, and the policy violation owner needs to take action on those policy violations. So like this, we do conduct policy violations, and we detect those policy violations, and the policy violation owner would take decisions on those policy violations. So
Hmm.
similarly, there are different type of policies we have on us, and these policies, if people would definitely, lot of organizations work on these policy violations, and henceforth, these policy violations are very crucial. And if you do mention them in your resume, and for sure you will get a question on how to implement a policy violation, or what is a policy violation, can you please explain? So these kind of questions. Yeah.
Right. True.
Yeah.
Very true. That's very true. Okay. Let's understand the next question, which we usually understand when we saw the interviews of the other students. That's how does JML, commonly also known as the joiner, the mover, the lever, process takes place in SailPoint Identity IQ?
Well, so here comes, this is also, you can consider it as a fact question, which is a frequently asked question.
Yeah.
It comes under a fact, no. So joiner, lever, mover. So for any running project you take on us, so any
Okay.
kind of project, definitely there, if it is an already existing project, maybe a 2-year-old or 3-year-old project or 4-year-old project, what happens there is it might have already been implemented. The JML process might be implemented already, or if you go into a fresh project, so no, there might not be they might have not yet implemented this kind of a JML procedure. So you might need to implement these kind of JML
Okay.
procedures into the project. So when it comes to the joiner, lever, mover, so mainly these ones would be taken care, like the joiner process means creating an account, creating an account with all the birthright accesses.
Okay.
Now let us assume, you take an access of um, like Active Directory, or Microsoft Teams, or
Okay.
Outlook. So these applications are your birthright applications, for an instance, Anas. So
Hmm.
as part of a joiner, I might need to create accounts into these particular. I might need to provision the accounts for these common business applications. So that's how the joiner process would evolve. And the thing is, you might need to discuss with the teams, all the stakeholders, the stakeholder teams, and you need to have at least the 3 to 4 sittings, and then have a proper conclusion and implementation, and henceforth you're going to implement those kind of JML procedures. So mainly the joiner process. When it comes to the lever process might be purely dependent on inactive attribute, or the termination date of the user. So well, if you want to know the termination process, okay, let's take there is a termination date of an employee reaches today, for example. It needs to be automatically disabled in all the applications, and all the authorizations what the user is part of should be removed. So that's where the authorizations will come into the picture.
Oh,
Needs to be removed, as part of the lever procedure. And then the weaver, when it comes to the mover, mover is nothing but the user is getting promoted within the organization, or the user being transferred from one department to the other department. So these things comes under your mover procedure, Anas. Yeah.
Sounds interesting. That's true. Let's move to the next one, Haider. And it's
Yeah.
very tricky, and usually we have seen this usually discussed by the people as well. That's what's the SailPoint connector, and why? Oh, you can say let's talk about in this case what is their purpose. Like what are the SailPoint connectors and what is their purpose?
Okay. So you mean to say the connectors? Okay. Well, yes. In the recent days, Anas, I'm hearing from a lot of my students, or a lot of my candidates, like they do reach out to me, Sheikh. We are working on a custom custom connector. How do we want to implement it? Or we got into a weird connector implementation. Need an guidance for that. So uh, so there is a connector documentation available in the Compass. So that is on the SailPoint University website, in the
Oh,
developer community. And if you refer to that, lot of connected information, you can easily gather them. and
okay.
and uh, and people do ask in interviews, have you worked on this connector implementation? And easily, if you have implemented it in your local machine, or if you have gone through those documentation, what I was referring to, definitely you can do answer those kind of questions and ask the
Hmm,
connector documentation questions. Like at least you can explain to the interviewer, saying that, okay, this is what the prerequisites, and these are the supported operations by the connector, and this is what you can do at the end of the day. So that's how you can take up the questions related to the connector implementations and us. Yeah.
right, right. That's true. Uh, the next, maybe the second last discussion we will gonna have
Yeah.
today. That's I mean, this is very basic, also you can say, but sometimes it becomes tricky to the learners as well. That what programming languages and technologies are used in customizing SailPoint Identity IQ.
Uh, nice question again, Anas. So this question will help to the people, like the beginners or the aspirants, mainly, I would say. Uh, the main thing here is no. Mm, so the question is, the what languages, right?
Right.
So as a common languages, we have core Java and
Okay.
XML. No, XML. I don't say you need to be an expert of XML. Uh, you need to have at least the basics of XML, like how the tags can be given, how the tags can be removed, those things. And when
Okay.
it comes to the core Java, I don't want you to be an expert of Java, okay?
Okay.
Or no, and at least a core Java basics, like having oops concepts understanding, like what is a class, what is an object, and what is a polymorphism, what is an inheritance, what is uh, no inheritance concept, how does inheritance works, what is a list, what is a linked list, what is hash map. At least having a what is a try catch block, what are loops. If you know these things, obviously you can be you can crack that interview, I would say. And also bean shell, people will do ask about the bean shell part, like
Okay.
the core language, Anas, we use it in SailPoint, which is called as a bean shell script. Bean shell script is nothing but a lightweight Java, a lightweight version of Java, I would say.
Oh,
Taking the combination of Java plus XML is your bean shell, Anas.
okay.
So in most of the customizations, what we do in SailPoint involves this kind of bean shell scripting language,
Uh-huh.
Anas. Yeah.
Okay. The next win will be like how can you handle performance issues in SailPoint Identity IQ?
Um, okay. Well, these kind of questions would rise for the people who comes with an experience of 10
Okay.
years or 15 years. or you are aiming to become a solution architect.
Okay.
Okay. So what interviewer would expect is whether would you be able to handle the performance issues in the
Okay.
environment. Okay. So the main thing, the solution for this is the optimization. Okay. The
Hmm.
optimization of your code, the optimization of your repo, the optimization of your database, no, these things involves. And as well as there are some kind of the maintenance activities that needs to be taken place, the healthcare activities needs to be taken care within the environment, and henceforth it will easily be overcome. Any kind of performance issues can be easily handled with these kind of considerations. And us, yeah.
Okay. Sounds interesting. I think we are done with the amount of discussions we have brought today, either. And I think this is enough for the learners who are actually planning for their roadmap in their careers or the interviews or the upliftment in their current role they are actually having. These are the few bites we
It's
have
16
brought
hours.
from the uh, a
Yeah.
bigger world of SailPoint where we usually see a lot of things, but these are some common things which usually people see. And thank you so much, Haider, for
Yeah.
giving up your valuable time and coming up for us and making.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Well, I also wants to add a few things, Anas. And first thing first, thank you very much for the opportunity, and setting up this session. And this is really a nice one, Anas,
right.
mainly
Thank you.
for taking your time, Anas. Well, so I have something for audience as well. Yeah. Being in industry from past 11 years, being a panel, the interview panel for within the organization where I worked, I want to give some tips to the participants or the
Hmm.
viewers who is viewing this particular session. So, point number one, to prepare well to the interview. Okay,
Okay.
like you might have worked, you might be a right candidate, no, and you might have not prepared for your interview. Okay, that
Hmm.
is a thing I would say. So if you have prepared well, putting your resume in front of you, and then evaluating yourself, if someone asks me this, what should I answer? Okay, if
Right.
someone asks me this concept, how should I explain it? What scenario in my career I should explain to the interviewer? So this preparation is much needed to crack any level of interview on us.
Okay.
Okay. And this is one point, preparing your resume, yourself, going from top to bottom, everything, preparing each and every point in your resume.
Hmm.
Next point, number two is learning the job description. Okay, just have seen the global market and us.
Okay.
So here, how the interview works, you need to go through the job description,
Okay.
what is the interviewer is going to expect from you. Are
Hmm.
you a right candidate for this particular role? So these things might be one of the things which is much necessary, reading the description. So, and these are the 2 points I thought of sharing, and obviously everyone will do well, if they have prepared well. And all the very best, viewers. I know you guys will do well in your interviews, and as much as information I have, me and Anas has shared in this particular uh, no, no session. Hope this will definitely help you guys. Uh, Thank you, Anas. Yeah.
Thank you so much, hi, Sheikh, for taking up your valuable time. I hope it's going to help a lot to the learners and everyone. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sheikh.